Hello, listeners of the Versations podcast. Did you have a good week? I certainly did. I ate a lot of food on Christmas, and now I feel like shit. Hi, I'm Bri, like the cheese. And this week, I wanted to give a quick shout out to a podcast very dear to my heart called Beautiful Anonymous. It is hosted by Chris Gethard, and it's basically a 1-hour conversation with anonymous people who call in to talk about their lives. If you're looking for a podcast just about human connection, check it out. I think it'll bring you to tears like it did to me many times. This week, my guest was Jake Myles, a person who I've known for more than a decade, which is so crazy to think about. We go on a marathon, pun intended, of topics because he is such a well-rounded person. So please enjoy our conversation.
But, like, what's cooler than, like, a bunch of dudes, awesome singing voices that just blend so well together?
I know!
I dare you to tell me something.
That's what I've been telling people. Hi, Jake.
Hey, Bri.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm tired, and I'm sure you feel the same way.
I feel kind of as if I'm still dreaming. Like, I don't think I'm awake.
When did the dream start?
After dances. As soon as dances ended, I was like, where am I?
Yeah.
Which is weird.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's like your body's going through so much,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's like this point where, yeah, we have assessments,
Mm-hmm.
and it's post-show, but like your body, I guess, is like out of this like, oh, I gotta stay on top of my shit, I gotta keep it together.
Absolutely.
And then when it has that 1 second, that one moment of just like rest,
Mm-hmm.
falls apart.
Yeah.
But I got sick after dances, I got like, and it happens.
Mm-hmm. We put so much like attention and care into our show, and then when it doesn't happen anymore, it's like...
It's because like in a show, like even if you have an injury, you're
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, if I could get rid of this injury temporarily,
Mm-hmm.
to say, and make it through the show, then whatever happens after the show doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Like if it gets worse, as long as I can get through the show.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember like on choreo 2 years ago, I had this big like back thing,
Mm.
and I just needed to get through the show. So I put all this like rubbing cream on it to like numb it, and then like I'd go dance, and we'd do Irina's piece.
Doing anything you can.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then like once that show was over, I was like, oh shit, I'm injured.
Mm.
And it's worse now because I pushed. So now I can actually treat it.
It's funny how we do those things. Like,
That's how our minds work.
yeah. It's all like about the one day that we have that show, or
Mhm.
like the one...
That's all that matters.
Yeah. I feel like also we learned that from like competition dance.
Oh, absolutely.
You know?
You can't fall apart.
No.
Everyone's counting on you. You're counting on
Even
you.
though you wanted to.
So bad. Just pull your solos.
Yeah. I'm not gonna go on. Like, I'm thinking about this actually now that we're ending our degree. Like, what are some things from competition that you've like really held on to and you feel like you've learned a lot from? But then what are some things that you just like let go of?
I think just like work ethic, for sure. Just like
Holding on to that?
Yeah, definitely holding on to that. No, not getting rid of it. Like that's gonna follow you wherever you go, I think, and I definitely learned it in dance.
Mm-hmm.
There was nothing in my life before dance that I kind of worked hard for.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was it. It was the meat and potatoes. Like that was like my shit, and that was the first kind of taste of like change that I felt.
Yeah.
Like, piloting your own life, like being the captain, steering your own ship. That was the first time that I actually felt like I had control over my life. Like, remember back in the day, like when I was, big Jake, like chubby Jake, and I was just a little tapper. I'm like, no, I want more than this. I wanted more than that, and I had to take it upon myself to, like, stop eating shit and to start stretching.
But for yourself, right?
Exactly.
Like, it wasn't for an ideal body weight or for like
No.
an ideal image. It was like you just, and
I
like
saw
you said,
better
you
for myself.
wanted more. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good mindset.
Yeah. And I think that's like that initial change kind of bled into our competition days, and then I definitely carried that with me. And I think it was that moment that I knew that I was capable of like being my own change.
Mm-hmm.
Because like no one else is gonna do it for you.
Yeah, that's something I've learned.
And when you learn that, like you learn that and you hold on to it.
It's weird, right? Like you'd think that like, especially from competition, we had our teachers, we had each other that we could hold on to. You had a solo that you had to go do by yourself, but like I really felt like I was part of a team. Like
Absolutely.
I was on Leaming Dance Works team.
Mm-hmm.
But then once I left that, it was like just me, my team, and like what was I gonna do with my own, skill set or my own like dreams and desires.
Exactly.
Yeah. What were something that you like really, you just needed to let go of? Like, was it like the drama of all the competition stuff, the stress?
Like if I'm being honest, our program is not shy of any drama. Like we definitely
still have it.
And I think that's gonna be something we carry with our lives. Like it's just the world's dramatic.
Yeah.
Period.
It is. That's a good point.
But I think something that I got rid of maybe was kind of and this wasn't like all of a sudden, but the need to achieve your goals for other people. Like in competition, it was, get better, work hard, get to where you want to be, and get on stage, do it for someone. If they like it, they like it. But if they don't, what does it have to say? Like, what do you have left? You work so hard for them, really? And I think something that I did, or something that I started to do when I came into this program, I think I was still very much like, okay, this class is for the teachers. This class is for them. And then it wasn't until I realized that, okay, Ryerson isn't the be-all, end-all. Like, it's such a short piece of my timeline. When I really started to realize that, you start to do it for yourself. And you start to love it more. Because
that's dope.
Like you only have yourself to please, and I know what I like. I'm good at pleasing myself.
And like if you disappoint yourself, it means a lot more than disappointing someone else.
Exactly.
Maybe. Yeah.
But it's less of a burden. Because you know how you feel, and then you know how to change that the next time.
I couldn't agree more.
And that's something that, like, yes, I got rid of, but I learned something new out of it, and that's something that I will carry for the rest of my life for sure.
Look at that! I love that. Let's talk about your new podcast that's coming out.
Yeah. So
you can plug it a little bit.
Yeah, shameless plug. It's called the Mountain Movers Podcast, and it's something that I'm like really excited about. This past year for me has been kind of I feel like every year it's just something new. It's just something different. I think that's the way life goes.
It's just the way life goes.
But this year has been like, who is Jake? Who does Jake want to be?
Okay. Who is that?
And it's a mountain mover.
Okay.
And that what that means to me is like it's so many things. A mountain mover, you could be. I think mountains mean a lot to me. They're tall, they're strong, and it's challenging to climb. But it's the journey to the top that really defines who you are. Because it's not about getting to the top, looking around at all you've done, all you've seen, all you've accomplished, and being able to say, hey, I made it here. That's great. And that's what I think everybody strives for. But it's the journey to the top. It's what you learn along the way. It is the people that you see. It is the things that you've done, what you've said, what you haven't said. And I think that when I have this tattoo, right? And it's the red man on the top of the mountain. And I got this last year, and it was kind of at the beginning of like, okay, who is Jake? Who does he want to be? I want to be that red man at the top of the mountain, but I'm in no rush.
And it's not about the destination.
It's not about the destination.
Okay.
And I hear that a lot, and it's not about the destination, it's the journey, but it's so true.
It is. Yeah.
And so that's what I'm kind of taking every day. Like, it's like day by day, I am a mountain mover. I want to make shifts in the world around me, the people that I meet, myself, and for the greater good. And so, like, this tattoo is kind of like a branding mark on my body. It's like I can always look down on my arm and be like,
and remind yourself.
One day.
Yeah,
you know, one day. I'm in no rush. I will get there one day.
It's nice to have that, like, actually on your body.
Exactly.
And, like, yes, you can have it in your mind, but, like, to see an image.
It's just a reminder.
Yeah. When you said mountain mover, I was immediately thinking of, like, moving mountains, obviously. And as you're walking up a mountain, you're making footprints and moving the snow or moving things around. Like, not necessarily moving the whole structure, but, like, your little impact on this mountain is going to move it in some way. And I think that's sort of where you're headed, like, or the idea that you want for this podcast is the little things that you do to get yourself to the destination are the things that count.
Exactly. And that's what I want to do on this podcast. It's a platform for really anybody who is actively making a change in their lives or trying to make a change in the world around them. And I just think that, like, if that is you, if that is who you want to be and what you want to do, you're remarkable. You inspire me to do just that.
So you'll feature people, is that the idea?
And so, cool. Like, it's, okay, I'm the host, but it's like, it's a conversation between me, between you, between, you know, whoever it is. And, and like, I just want to hear their story. I want to hear, like, maybe where they've come from, what they've seen, where they hope to go, what they're doing, what they're up to, where they hope to take it, what contributions they want to make, what experiences they want to have. I just feel like podcasting is so powerful because there are a lot of people out there with so much to say, but maybe no microphone to speak it. Right?
So we're providing that platform for people. I feel the same way. I mean, I'm doing it right now. Like, it's like, and I think genuine conversation is really important. Like, this is not scripted. I make sure to unedit it because I think humans are interesting enough. Like, there's a whole, you know, controversy about late night talk shows right now, how they feel very, like, branded and, like, they're very just for the advertisement. They don't really feel like there's an actual, like, conversation that's happening. I'm trying to break that. I'm trying to figure out a way to feature people or talk to people in a way that is not like you can just let everyone know what's going on in your life. No, like, you can just talk to me about it, and then there's this other audience that's just going to listen. Do you have people lined up, or do you want to get the word out about people signing up? Or? So,
another shameless plug, DM me on Instagram, Jake_Myles. That's probably the best place to reach me. Send me a DM. If you have something to say and just haven't had the opportunity to say it, I'm your guy. Seriously. But yeah, I have some people lined up. I have some episodes already recorded. Just excited to get them out.
Amazing.
First couple are about the marathon.
Good.
NYC Marathon that I ran.
Great segue.
Just a month ago. And so I'm talking to Grace. I'm talking to, who's my sister. And I have a couple where it's just me talking just about experience. And, and in hopes that, like, someone hears it and it inspires them to do anything. Like, it doesn't have to be to run a marathon. It could be to, you know, get their ass out of bed and go do their groceries, you know. Simple. Just that. Effective.
I'll leave the Instagram handle in the description below so you can see. So you you ran a marathon, man.
I did.
It was in November,
November
3rd in New York City.
Yeah.
How long was it again?
Distance?
Yeah.
So it's 42.2 kilometers.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I'm so lazy. I could never run that.
Well, never in a million years did I think I could either. I was always that guy, you know, I got into lifting weights while in university, and I always thought, you know what, that's me. You know, this is the kind of, you know, lifestyle I'm into. This is the kind of, like, changes in my body I want to make.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until, like, my sister Grace, she's run, this was her 5th marathon. So she's run,
Oh my God, I didn't know that.
So she's run, she had run four before it.
Did she help you and, like, influence you through that? Okay.
Exactly. So she was, like, my biggest inspiration. She remains my biggest inspiration. But
That's
it wasn't
lovely.
until she told me back in June, she's like, I'm running New York City Marathon. Do it with me. And I'm like, are you crazy? Are you nuts? I hate cardio.
Yeah.
Like, I think this guy at the gym, like, you know, if I had, you know, I'd do my weights, and I'd go on the treadmill for like 7 minutes. I'd be like, oh my god, this is so mind numbing.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay,
But you did it.
I did it.
Did, like, past the idea of cardio being, like, the worst thing in the world, which I totally agree it is, like, what kind of advice or what kind of motivation did you have to actually consistently train? Almost every day, I think you were in the gym, like, really just building yourself up to get an amount of cardio that would be useful for the marathon. Like, how did you build that? What was your training like?
So, Grace has a coach,
Okay.
and she set Grace up for a training plan for the marathon. So it was 4 months of training: July, August, September, October.
Mm-hmm.
Already, that had me like petrified.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna train for 4 months for this? Like, that's ridiculous. Grace and I had run Canada Day 10Ks for the last 3 years. That was like our thing.
Okay, that's
You know, I was like, okay,
still
I'm gonna get
enough.
out for a 10K with Grace. Like, that's
Yeah.
awesome. And it was every year, and we're gonna do it for the rest of our lives. We know that for sure. But it was something about this year's that was like, I already had the idea of New York in my head. I'm like, okay, I ran this 10K with Grace. Let's do more.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got her to send me her training, her weekly training every single week. And so I would just do what she did.
Mm-hmm.
So that it was 4 to 5 times a week, an easy run, speed workout, recovery run, and a long run, and then sometimes like an extra easy run, an extra recovery run, one speed workout and one long run a week. And I remember it so clearly. The first easy run was 8K. I'm like, oh my god, the hardest thing I've ever done cardio-wise was 10. How am I supposed to do 8? That's easy run.
That's an easy run, yeah.
I remember running it and being like, nope, I can't do this. Nope, I can't. Nope, we're done.
no.
I finished the 8K, but I'm like, nope, I'm not training. And
Oh.
then I had to talk with Grace, and she's like that was one,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're going to do another, and you're going to do another, and you're going to do another, and it's just going to get easier, and it's going to get easier, and it's going to get easier. Something that she's a big advocate for is starting where you are. So it doesn't matter where you are in your physical endurance life. Like, whether you're running 10Ks, whether you're running 2 minutes. It's like, start with that 2 minutes, and then 3, and then 4, and then 5, and then 6, and then so on. And you'd be surprised how quickly you get it.
Did it become like a routine?
Yeah.
It became like
it was
something
like
that you wanted to do.
It was my life. It was like this. So I had May and June of like, I didn't even think about it. I didn't even know about it yet. Whatever. July and August, the second half of the summer was like running first. It was like I needed to like go to bed so I could wake up to do it, so I could go to work.
Yeah, I see your Instagram stories at like 7 a.m.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
And it was just like
Dedication.
whatever worked.
Yeah.
It was like if I had work in the morning and I had something at night, obviously I had to run in the morning. Sometimes I got to run in the evening. It just became a schedule. Every single it started off as Sundays, but every single Friday, Grace and I would wake up at 5:30 and we would run our long runs together. It started at 12 and it built to 16, 17, 21, 27, 33, 36. It was like, before I knew it, I was running 36 kilometers, and it really didn't take much for me to like know that this was like my mission. This was like a chapter of my life that like was going to change me, and it has.
I can imagine. I mean, like, it sounds like it was something that you, like we said before, like you did for yourself. Like, it wasn't, no one was like, you have to run this marathon.
No.
And maybe that helped you to really take your time and listen to your body if you were building to get to 36 and then 42 for the marathon, like, I can't imagine that you'd want to really, like, actually listen to your body.
Yeah.
That's very inspiring.
Thank you.
Like,
one thing that I actually helped me a lot was Grace. Also, we're both, like, very into mantras, very into quotes.
Mm-hmm.
It's just really what gets us through. She loved this one. It's when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change.
I think I've heard that. Yeah.
I always saw cardio as, like, this devil, this beast, and then never like, oh, what can it do for me? What can it teach me? What world can it show me? When I started to see it that way,
oh, I see. Okay.
it stopped being a burden and started to be everything.
You change your perspective.
Exactly.
You put it in a different, not so devilish way.
Exactly.
And then all of a sudden it's something new.
Exactly.
What was the biggest thing that you learned from this experience then? If you can pick one. Because you're saying it did change your life. It changed you as a person, not necessarily as a runner, but how?
So like I said before, something I always carry with me now through everything is that, I am the captain of my ship.
Mm-hmm.
I can steer right, I can steer left, or I can steer right through.
You got it, yeah.
The next challenge. And I think this opened my eyes, and it really, really showed me that anything is possible. It's like, okay, if I can go from no cardio and build up to a marathon, what's next? And it made me so hungry for more,
good.
and I know that I'm going to do more, and I know I'm going to get faster, and I
thought you were crazy when you said that you were going to. I was literally like, he's insane. And we had dances throughout September and October.
Oh, that was brutal.
And I remember watching you in rehearsal and just thinking, like, oh, like, I know he's so tired, but I know he's doing it for a good reason and a good goal for himself.
Exactly.
Watching you through that was, I mean, you've always inspired me, but, like, that was really a big moment for me to see that.
Thanks, Bri.
And, I mean, do you think you'll do another?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
Well, that's great.
I think what's next for me is, so obviously, I ran in November. I took a month off, and this past Sunday, a month later, I ran for the first time.
Okay.
Since the marathon. We got into our shows.
New start.
Right away, it was tech week, then show week, then assessment. It was like, okay, I can't do it.
No.
But yeah, I got back out with a buddy that I have in Toronto, and that I met in Toronto, and he's an avid marathoner too, like crazy. He was actually at New York as well.
Cool.
But we got out for what was my first winter run, so that was like new and exciting for me. And,
yeah.
I got out for a run today, and now I'm just slowly like getting back into it, and I'm not going to train for a spring marathon.
Okay.
Just because training on top of shows and classes, and it was just so much.
It's a lot.
And now that we have 2 shows in this coming semester, I'm actually just going to train for a half marathon. I'm going to try and beat my time. I'm getting together a little run group.
Oh, okay.
Just of people, like, whoever wants to.
Oh, that's good, because then you can hold each other accountable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm going to call ourselves the Mountain Movers. Great. And we're going to kick ass May 3rd, the Mississauga Marathon, and that's what's next. And then I have these ambitions of, like, triathlons, and, like, Grace and I put our names in the lottery for the Chicago Marathon next year.
Okay.
So just for anyone listening, there's 6 major marathons in the world. It's New York, Chicago, Boston, London, Tokyo, and Berlin. And so with New York down, there's only 5 more. And
you're going to go for all of them?
I'm going to go for all of them. And there's 2 ways of getting in. You qualify with a time. I couldn't qualify for New York because I had never run a marathon, so I didn't have a time.
Gotcha, okay.
Or you can get in through lottery. And so that's how we got into New York. And I'm in a really hard age category to, like, qualify for these, like 18 to 34 male. You need a sub 3 marathon to get into a sub 3 hour marathon to get into any of the, like, most of the majors.
Oh, I just processed that. A 3-hour marathon.
Yeah, I ran my marathon in 4 hours 11 minutes.
Oh my god.
So, like, I'm looking to improve and I'm looking to get faster, but I know that'll take time.
Yeah.
And
but you can do it.
I'm in no rush.
Yeah. You can set it up for yourself in any way that you want. Well, that'd be really cool if you could hit all of those marathons, like Berlin. Oh my god!
And you get this cool medal that like it's like a circle with like little circles, 6 little circles to represent each of the 6 majors, and each one's different. Like New York is actually the most difficult.
Really? Eh?
Because of the inclines. So like you go over all these bridges through the 5 boroughs.
Okay.
And some of the bridges are like 2 to 3 mile inclines. So you're running for like 5-6 kilometers just uphill the whole time. And yeah, or Berlin, super flat. Like a lot of people like to go there and they like to like PR. Like they like to get their best runs there, and then they qualify for the Olympics, and it must be beautiful. A great excuse to travel. But yeah, that's kind of what's next for me.
Do it.
Yeah.
Go do it. I support you fully.
Thank you.
I think that is, like I said, very inspiring, but also I love that you're doing something that's not necessarily dance stuff, like having yourself be more well-rounded, and also it teaches you new things anyways.
Yeah.
Great. Do you want to talk a little bit about dances and that process and learning Cunningham work and like what that was like for you?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you can vouch for me when I say that it was like new. It was different.
Yeah.
And it was hard.
It was like, I know we did modern and we did a lot of Graham growing up. We did a lot of Graham like in our first part of our degree, and I think as much as they are this similar, like Cunningham is a lot more like a mental state, I found.
Yeah.
I don't know if you had the same thing. Like,
absolutely.
You know, like in like when it was tiring, like you just had to keep going.
Exactly.
Which maybe is like similar to your marathon.
I liked well, at the time, like I was doing both, right? I was training and we were learning Cunningham and practicing Cunningham, and I kind of the only way I could get through it was like drawing similarities between the two. It's like, okay, I'm tired right now, but I was also tired on my run earlier today, but I got through that, so I'm gonna get through this. But I think
you just have to do it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it was also like the cast. I loved the cast.
I know.
Like everyone was just so excited to be there. Dylan Crossman was just so.
Can't say enough more about him.
Excited to be there with us and to pass on this knowledge. And like, what an honor it was to work with him and then also remount the work of Merce Cunningham from 1970s.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Merce isn't with us anymore, and John, the composer, John Cage, but Dylan Crossman works with the Merce Trust to stage like the repertoire of these historical pieces that Merce choreographed, like all over the world. I think he was in like Sweden or something at one point or something like that. I don't know, but he does, that's his job, and I think that's really, Dylan is a very inspiring person because he can take all of this knowledge that he had from being in the company by looking at all the notes of the archive, but then making it something that is like fresh and a little bit more new. And I think our piece was like, yes, it was iconic, but it felt like ours, you know?
Yeah.
I like learning the moves. Obviously, you had to do them a certain way. They had to be very placed. But performing it and having people come and share that with us, like, felt very much unique to us.
You started to embody this, like, whole other side of you.
Yeah.
I felt so professional.
Oh my God, you're right.
Like, so professional. I was like, oh my God, like we wore unitards.
And
I slapped on that unitard, jumped my hair back a little bit, and just like, I was this new Jake. I was like, oh my God, I'm no longer
We had to like hype each other up.
Yeah. Yeah. Because like, it was a 17 long minute piece. Mm-hmm. And it was just like, go, 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 go. Yeah. Right?
I mean, I can't believe we did it. Like, I'm obviously very still in that dream state of like, did it actually happen? I don't know.
Yeah.
But as we move forward, like, there's a lot of things that I can take away from it into my own practice. Like, the idea of, Dylan would always say to us, like, you're fine. You're fine. Like, I know it was funny at some points because he would kind of say it in, like, he always had, like, a tiny little eye roll at the end of it, which I love him for. It's totally fine. We needed to know that. We're fine.
Of course.
But, like, that's idea of, like, just calming yourself down. Like, not everything is a 10 out of 10, you know? I'm trying to incorporate that more into my practice. Yeah, I don't know. Any other thoughts about it?
I just think the "you're fine" was like a big driving force throughout the process. Because like, like, maybe your day was shitty. Maybe you woke up in a bad mood. Maybe you didn't sleep at all. But you'd come to his rehearsal and it was almost refreshing. Like, when he hit you with that, you're fine. It, like hit your heart and you're like, I am.
Yeah.
I really am fine. Thank you. Like, right?
Totally.
It's like, what's the point in stressing? Like, okay, you missed that tendu. Do it again. You're fine.
Yeah.
Do it again. Like, just do it.
He would like look dead in our eyes and like it just like touched our soul.
Exactly.
Yeah. Cool. I want to ask you like what your plans are after school, but I won't because I feel like that is the worst question to ask someone who is about to graduate.
I just keep my pants and said that. I've been tripping down my legs.
It's literally like that question when you get it from like family members or something. It's like, I don't know what I'm doing.
It was so much easier to say it back in like first and second year. Like, oh, you know, like there's these companies to perform in, or like, you know, there's always Broadway. And,
literally.
Like, now that I'm in fourth year and like I have nothing lined up, I'm like, yeah, there's like, you know, like,
there's stuff.
Just want to dance, you know, or like move my body a little. Like,
really improv in my room a lot, you know, like, well, like, what if, let's go to, because we're entering a new decade, which is really weird to say, but let's say like 10 years from now, like 2030, what kind of like situation do you see yourself in? Dream situation. Like, let's take care of, we'll get rid of all the expectations we have.
I love dreaming.
Yeah. Anything at all.
So I'm 31.
Yeah.
Cool. I am living here.
Hopefully.
I am, yeah. I'm breathing and I'm
so.
Blinking. Hopefully.
It would be sad if you left us before that.
Shout out to... No, I'm not even... This podcast in memory of Jake.
Oh, no. This is so dark.
I just knocked on wood. I'm not going to die. Okay, anyways.
Please don't.
I want to still be running.
Okay.
I want to have...
Be good for your health.
Yeah. But I want to, like... I just have this thing about, like, pushing myself. So, like, okay, I ran a marathon. What's next? A triathlon. What's next? An ultra marathon. What's next? An ultra marathon is anything over 50 kilometers.
Wow.
What's next? An Ironman, which is the extreme triathlon, right? I just want to see how much I can do. I just want to do it all. I'm hoping to still have a lot of friends, but like that I have now, because like I feel like the connections we made in this program with our class are just something that I want to hold on to for the rest of my life. Like, even though we shit on each other, and even though like I piss a lot of people off, it's like I love you, and I don't want anyone to forget that.
Yeah.
But I hope to like I want to keep performing, but I think in more of like a collaborative way, like, hey, you need a body for your piece, let me go on that journey with you. Hey, you are trying to put together this show, let me do it together. Like, let's do it together.
So you see yourself as more as a vessel.
Yes. And like, if I was to create, it would be like pop-up. Kind of like, oh, there's an opportunity, I'm gonna grab it. There's an opportunity, I want to grab it.
Okay.
So that just tying together, I want it to just, I want to just do it all, right? And I think that's possible, and I think that's valid. Like, who doesn't want to do everything in the world, you know?
Yeah.
I want to do it all until I can't, you know, because one day that'll happen.
Like, physically?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Push my limits. Eliud Kipchoge, he's a runner from Kenya. He holds the world record for a marathon. 2 minutes,
What?
2 hours, 1 minute. That's the world record. But he actually, I don't know if you heard about this, but he broke 2 hours. So there was this whole, it was called the 159 challenge.
Okay.
And so like he ran a 1 hour, 59 minute marathon. It was like they picked the perfect course, the perfect weather.
Like the best conditions so that everything went well.
Exactly. He had pacers subbing in every 5 miles to keep him going. And he hit, it was 1:59:43, I'm pretty sure. And he always says, like, his mantra, his life is centered around no human is limited. And I want to see how much I can challenge that.
Wow. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Is he an Olympian?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the stuff he does for a living.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, this is his shit. Like,
wow.
He's like the fastest marathoner in the world.
Yeah. And it's such a different tactic from like sprinting, right? Because you have to like pace yourself, but not too slowly. Mm-hmm. I was always a fast runner. Like I love like just going.
Yeah.
You know, and like that works well for dance.
Oh,
but
exactly.
I think, you know, like, but to see someone like, and how long was the course that he rode for?
Same thing, 42.2.
So it was like the
marathon.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Like he's the only one to ever break 2 hours,
Yeah.
and I just think that's incredible. And I'm like, okay, Jake, the hell are you gonna do?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well,
Right?
yeah, and then
like,
you can set something up for yourself.
Exactly. Like,
yeah.
challenge yourself. Just like, I'm literally still on a high from like this training and this marathon. It's like, okay, like just go get it. Like you want something, go get it. Period.
And then you do it, and then you move on to the next thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. There's this like sort of mental state that I've been trying to have right now, if I can just talk about myself for
Please.
2 seconds, where like, yes, you should look back at what you do and reflect on it and have like a moment of what just happened, but everything that you do should be in your present moment, and then you leave room for the future, right? If you're stressed too much about the future and you're like overanalyzing what you're about to do, you're not really living. But if you're thinking too much about the past, the same thing, you're not in the moment. And I've been trying to figure out a balance between all three of those like time, space things.
Yeah.
Of like, it's just what's happening right now.
Yeah.
The future will happen anyways because time moves forward.
Yeah.
But the past has already happened. Let it go.
Yeah.
You know? And I wonder if that's also like a thing when you run, like the track is this way, you know, like you just made a step over, you know, some kind of pothole or something, like it's gone.
Yeah.
Keep moving forward.
Yeah.
And maybe like that's just the way to live. I don't know.
I think that like if I was to tie this again into running, like you know, tracks. Like the tracks that people run around, how there are several lanes.
Yes.
Something that I've also kept with me this semester was to stay in my own lane.
Yeah.
And if I wanted to move back, if I wanted to move forward, like it was up to me. But like I can't let the noise of other people around me. I can't let the talk or the like whatever they think. Like I can't let that steer me off course. I gotta keep going in my lane if I want to do the things that I want to do.
The distractions.
Exactly. It's noise. That's all it is, you know? Like you can take it with a grain of salt and just keep moving forward. Because like, yes, like people have valid opinions and like I'll take criticism for what it is. But like it's also like not their life to live.
Right.
You know? So like you don't have to
You can't switch lives with someone. Unfortunately.
Just stay in your lane, keep moving forward, step back, do what you need to do, but do it your way.
Yeah.
Right?
It's the only way to actually, like, have a successful life, I feel like. Cool.
Yeah.
Let's switch gears for 2 seconds. You and I used to do this thing where we would, like, text each other songs.
Yeah.
Before, like, even saying hi.
Yeah.
We would just be like, the 1975 or like Sarah Bareilles or something like that. I mean, obviously I owe a lot of my music to you and like my music taste to you. I was wondering what you're listening to right now.
Well,
anything at all.
What do I have? It's so funny. Okay, so like obviously it's like you're doing that in high school.
Yeah.
We'll do it like here and there. You got me hooked on Sarah Bareilles. That was you, and that's my guilty pleasure.
And
like that ties into like Ingrid Michaelson. You know,
So
like
good.
they just go like together so perfectly, and like it is my guilty pleasure. In high school, I started listening to country. I really liked it.
Yes.
Some artists more than others, some styles more than others, but yes, I really like that. But lately, it's another guilty pleasure, but I'm not ashamed of it.
Yeah.
Boy bands.
Yes.
Why not?
Which ones?
Why don't we? Pretty much.
Can we just
Old
talk about
One
it?
Direction.
Yeah.
Come on. Like, they're good.
Jake knows my obsession with One Direction is it's very healthy.
But, like, what's cooler than, like, a bunch of dudes, awesome singing voices that just blend so well together?
I know.
I dare you to tell me
This
something.
is what I've been telling people. And I think we've talked about Pretty Much is the new band that's come out, which one of my friends is in it. Zion.
From your high school.
Yeah. Do you listen to them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love them.
Because there's like not a lot of boy bands right now. There's them and 5 Seconds of Summer.
And Why Don't We?
And Why Don't We? That's what I was trying to think of the other one. Yeah. I think that's it though.
Yeah.
Because One Direction is long and gone.
But my favorite artist, his name, he goes by Lauv.
Yes.
My favorite artist, like since last summer, so summer of 2018, I started listening to his music. He had one album out. It was just so amazing. It was like, I think it's a mixture of like his voice with the style of music. It's kind of like electronic, like he mixes like aspects of electronic, hip hop, and like indie, and they just like tie together, and pop.
It's a cool vibe.
Yeah, it is. And like I follow him on Instagram as well, and he's just like a goof. He's a weird dude, and like I love it. He's like this biggest like extrovert, Leo, like anything you want to call him, like reasons why he's like that. Like it's inspiring to me because I'm a goofy dude, you know. But like he has so much respect, and like who doesn't want that? Who doesn't want to do both? Like to be yourself and to also have that respect.
Yeah.
He just has a great heart too.
That's awesome.
And he's very open with like things that he's going through, and he's not shy to like let you know that hey, I'm going through this, but I know I'm not alone.
What's one of his songs that you're listening to right now?
Well, he has a new album on the way that he keeps dropping little songs.
Oh, good.
But
Great.
he
check it out.
Like that album aside, I think my favorite one of his songs is Chasing Fire. It's just like upbeat and like just feel good, and you just want to sing it at the top of your lungs in your shower, in your car, on the street.
Cool.
Doesn't matter.
Dope.
Yeah. So
that's awesome.
Lauv. I love Lauv.
Love. The shirt that you wear too is from his concert?
No, it's just merch that I have online.
Merch?
Yeah.
It has like, what does it have? So
damn, fuck, aw shit.
Like
no, damn, aw shit, fuck.
And those are like
those are things
reviews?
from his songs. No, those are from his songs.
Oh, they're from his
songs.
songs.
Like,
okay.
It would say like 2018, damn. Like he said damn in one of his songs, I Like Me Better. Because it was like, damn.
Yes, yeah. That's one of my favorites.
And then Ah Shit is from Drugs in the Internet, which is a new song. It's
cool.
like Drugs in the Internet, ah shit, am I winning yet? And then Fuck is from his another new song called Fuck I'm Lonely. It's like, fuck, I'm lonely, I'm lonely. And it's just like swear words in the songs that like stick out, and you just put it on a shirt.
His music feels very relatable. Like
so relatable.
You know?
But I'm like also how. And like the way like this just goes to show like the kind of goofy he is. Like I was watching this interview with him, and he was explaining the song Fuck I'm Lonely, and someone was like, what, like what's this song about? What did you write it about? It's like, yeah, I just really wanted like a chicken parmesan sandwich, and I didn't get my chicken parmesan sandwich, and I went home and I was just like, man, fuck, I'm lonely without my chicken parmesan sandwich. I'm like, this guy is just, and he's like, yeah, like I actually released like a clean version. Instead of saying fuck, it's just dog barking. It's like, roof, I'm lonely, I'm lonely, I'm lonely as roof. Yeah. So that's the kind of guy he is.
Yeah,
you know? Like,
he sounds like just down to earth, like silly goose time kind of guy.
But so talented.
That's dope. That's so cool. Jake, thank you so much for sitting with me.
Yeah, no worries.
This was like...
We could go on and on,
I
seriously.
know! I feel like very warm in my heart right now.
Yeah, me too.
But I wish you all the best.
Yeah, you too.
I'll see you now.
Dream big, people.
Yeah, Mountain Mover podcast. Check it out. Apple, Spotify.
Yeah, boom.
Anywhere you get your podcasts.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to the Art Versations podcast. If you like what you heard, subscribe, rate, and leave a review to help the podcast grow. As well, follow the podcast on Instagram at ArtVersationsPod. That's ArtVersationsPod. You'll find photos of each of my guests so you can match a voice to a face. Let's keep the conversation going. DM me with your own thoughts about art, as I would love to hear them. I'm always up for a good old-fashioned chat. Till next time.